Hey guys, Coldbrew here. Welcome to another Race Challenge video. We're back onto the test server today, guys, on the definitely not Coldbrew account with the 1 million gems. Keep looking at that. Wish it was on my main account. I will always say this when I'm I'm on this account recording for videos. So this video, guys, we'll be going over where is he? Where is he? Where is this epic? Tolf the Maimed. He is one of the epics needed for the fusion that is upcoming. And is he worth it? Is he worth the trouble? Is he worth it over the legendary champion that is available through us through the fusion? We'll just have to see through this video. So Tolf the Main is an Orc HP epic champion, guys. As you can see, if you're dealing with a shield set and immortal set, we'll come back to the gearing in a little bit, but he does have 100 and almost 112,000 health with a 174 speed and a 242 accuracy. So let's go over his skills. This is where he is very special. So this champion cannot crit. If you see his A1, this attack cannot be critical by any means. His attack, his A1 is fairly basic. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit heals by 30%. So that's great. That's like a lifesteal set, okay? But this cannot crit. So his A2 is what makes it so special. So this A2, guys, when you hit somebody, any champion or enemy with the skill, their health goes to 50%, regardless of what kind of damage you have on this champion. But if the enemy is already at 50% or less health, then inflicts damage based on this champion's max HP instead, and places a stun debuff for 1 turn if the target already has less than 50% HP. So this is where it becomes pretty different. Okay, inflicts damage based on this champion's max HP when attacking bosses. This is very basic. It doesn't do anything crazy. Even with 112,000 health, he does about 60,000 damage, for example, on the clown boss. So not that special. I can show you guys. And then his passive decreases the values of all enemy shield buffs by 50% at the start of every turn. Then increases this champion's max HP by the same amount, up to 25% of their max HP. So this passive is also very special. Decreases the shield buffs, then increases this guy's max HP, basically giving him more damage. So this helps a lot when you're fighting enemies with shield buffs and you cannot remove them. Let's say a Brockney team against you. You can maybe use this guy instead to reduce the shields. Usually the shields are not that crazy. And if they are just from Brockney, again, they're not that crazy. It's not like you have a Krisk shield where his passive and a shield set are just huge and you can actually remove those. So this passive is cool and all, but I don't know how useful it's going to be. And then masteries, I went the support route. So let's say you have him as a supporting champion in there. You use his A2 as a way to just basically take down a very tanky target, take their HP down, and then use your other champions to knock them out. So a defensive build, but I will be trying it for this video, an offensive build later on. But remember, like the critical rate and the critical damage, masteries do nothing on this champion. Not even the Helm Smasher does anything because he does do pure damage, okay? When not attacking bosses, inflicts pure damage. So pure damage ignores everything, basically. Is what I think Baron has already with his unique Sky Piercer. Deals pure damage as an AoE. So the extra will ignore shield and block damage, but this is added for Baron, but he ignores all defense and does a big amount of damage with Sky Piercer. It's the same thing with this one, but this doesn't crit. So let's go over to 12-3 and I'll show you how this does in reality for, let's say, the campaign. You're never going to use him in campaign, but it's just an easy showcase of his skills. There's his A1, very basic, lots of health lots of health there, but his A2 is where it becomes interesting. Okay, so look at the health of the enemy immediately goes to 50%, and that's it. Nothing else to it. 50% regardless of their health. If I go to the Doom Tower, let's say stage 119, where we have the most difficult non-boss champions, non-boss enemies against us, then we'll actually see Tolf put a speed booster in there, so we actually get the turn going really fast. Okay, boost his speed. Oh, the enemies are still faster than me. That's fine. Tolf just blocked that 20% of that hit there, but my arbiter is getting so low. Am I gonna get a turn here? Okay, so let's say we want to go against this Harvest Shack, who usually should have a lot of health. There's an ally protection also on there, so I'm not sure how ally protection is gonna go, because he's gonna go to 50% HP regardless. But is Visix also gonna go there? We'll just have to see, I guess, through this. Hope I don't get feared. Okay, so yeah, it did 50% of this target's health, but she seemed to take way more damage through it than him. I think this time I'll hit somebody else. So I think this time I'll hit somebody else that isn't maybe very tanky. So there's Cubitus here, and I want to see the health of V6. So ally protection, well, what it does is very basic. 50% of the damage dealt. So if we're going to do 50% of their health and he takes 25%, then the remaining 25% should go on V6. But if V6 is not that tanky, she'll take more damage because it's going to be a different kind of transfer of that damage there. So yeah, we did about 25% again there. And okay. And let's just show this again without the ally protection. Yeah, let's just go and hit Harvest Shack. Boom, 50% of their health. And that's it. So let's say I had 2 Tolfs in my team. I wouldn't be able to just use them to cheese an enemy and just kill them without really caring about their health. But yeah, we don't have the 2 available, but it doesn't work that way because remember his A2 changes when the enemy is under 50% HP because the damage inflicted is based on this champion's max HP instead, and places a stun debuff for 1 turn when the enemy is less than 50% health. That's it, and that's the way this works. If I go to the clan boss, you'll just see what kind of damage this champion does on his unique A2 on the clan boss. So the A1 doesn't do anything special. Remember, we cannot crit, so about 15k there. Nothing too special. Ideally, with his A1, we'll be doing way more damage with a defense down and a weaken. Boom, 66k there with the A2. Nothing too special. And it doesn't change that much. Even if we drop health, because the A2 does damage based on max HP, it doesn't change when we drop health. Right, so now I've changed the masteries on Tolf the Maimed. I gave him some attack masteries. Didn't go for the crit because he cannot crit, obviously. Went for Shield Breaker, Heart of Glory, and see how these affect his damage. His damage shouldn't be affected because I think his A2 is very strict, but I just want to see how this works. Again, let's go into the campaign and see how this works when you have different masteries like offensive masteries. So the first initial build was a very defensive build for him, taking damage, soaking up damage because of his very high health. Other sets other than the shield set would probably be the ally protection set that's available. But let's see what we can do now with offensive masteries there. Yeah, he seemed to have done a little bit more than 50% HP. Like the line is right here, and he did like 1 more bar than the enemy's health there. So let's do his A1. Yeah, now we hit for 19k instead of 15. So that's cool on his A1. But let's see his A2 again here. Yeah, the damage doesn't change on his A2 with masteries. I think you shouldn't go for offensive. You should go for the first defensive build that I showed. That helps a lot of soaking up damage that the your allies will be taking. So let's just go and finally try him in arena and see what he can do in arena. I mean, where would I use him in arena? Probably against these kind of teams where the enemies are very, very tanky. And let's see what he can do differently with a defense down. His A2 will not be affected with the defense down. Yeah, his A2 won't be affected. So let's just go in and see. He should be doing 50% of the enemy's health, regardless of if they have shields or not. So here, good thing is we did not get frozen. Please don't freeze me. Oh, we're frozen. That's fine. That's fine. Don't want to steal the shields. He should have stolen now the shields and gained that back in max health when he lost that turn there. So let's stop this guy from getting a turn. So let's speed boost again and see what this does. So Necrit should go immediately right here. Okay. Yeah, he did 31,000, which is enough for him to be exactly at 50%. So I'm gonna let that one there and see what when I can get his A2 again and see what we can do against this guy. Okay, so now I'm gonna hit Necrit again and with the A2 and see what kind of damage we can do. Remember, this time the A2 will definitely stun the enemy if the target is under 50% HP, and our damage dealt will depend on our max health. So on the clan boss, I did about 60,000. If we can do this onto Necrit, I'm gonna be so happy. No, not even close there. 13,000 health. 13,000 health damage there wasn't that great, but he's still standing, so he's very, very tanky. So not that exciting for Arena. I'm not sure of which teams you can go against. Okay, going with a different team now. I'm going to abuse Warlord's cooldown increase just to see if I can take down these tanky targets. This is a very tanky team against me. This is where Tolf is going to be the most effective, I would say. So I should be able to take away the shields if I wanted to. But I'm just going to let them go for a bit. And he's going to steal them once he gets a turn. So yeah, he increases max HP and reduced the enemies. So let's see if we can just get someone of these guys down. I'm going to go for the tankiest here. It seems to be Brogni. Look at that damage. Yeah, taking him immediately to 50%. Helping me take him down, basically. So we couldn't remove the shield there, but like I think maybe a very fast Tolf would be also cool because he would be abusing his shield passive, and then that would give him a lot of extra max HP and more turns, refreshing his A2 and then using that A2 big damage to take down the targets here, the tanky targets. So gonna see if we can take him out with the A2, take out Brogni. We should be able to take out Brogni, even with the A1, because there's a defense down there. So let's see what kind of damage we can do with the A2. Yeah, the A1 barely does anything, any kind of damage, which is sad. But that's what it is. So we've got an attack down, a defense down. That doesn't affect this guy because of the way that he does damage. So now I should have stolen the shields. I'm not sure. I didn't see here the decrease. So decrease the values of all enemy shields by 50% at the start of every turn. Then increase the champion's max HP by the same amount up to 25% of their max HP. So eventually this champ will go to like 140,000 total max HP because I've got him at a 112 at the moment. So let's go with the A2 here. No damage there. Like if he's hitting targets under 50% health, he barely does any damage, which is disappointing. Like I would have loved if his A2 also ignored shields. Because his passive does work, but it doesn't do so much. Like I can't think of any use for this champion at the moment. Maybe I'm missing something out, but I think he's definitely worth sacrificing if you really want a legendary champion added to your roster. He's not that crazy as a void epic. Remember, void epics are supposed to be great, almost all of them, but this champion doesn't really cut it. He is very unique with his passive and all, and the way that he doesn't crit, he steals shields and gains max HP. I like that in a champion. Makes him very unique, but not worthy of the added book requirements. He doesn't need that many books, but it's still there. Like 10 books is not easy to get, even if it's epic books. And he's very niche in his uses. Maybe the Doom Tower, maybe the spider boss, the ice spider boss, the spiralings. You can take their health immediately down to 50% HP. Remember, this doesn't work on bosses, so I couldn't really try it against any of the Doom Tower bosses right here to showcase anything, because it would just be him hitting for damage based on his max HP. So that was the showcase for this video, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to see another champion featured this in the test server, I think we've got access for a couple of more days. Leave it down in the comments below, guys, and I'll get to it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.